There's not a faint chance in hell that this is funny. And when you see those flat, corny, late-night jokes, those are so cringy. Those are a warm-up guy. And generally the warm-up guy's a failed comedian. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. There's literal applause signs that flash to tell you when to applaud. They're like, okay, explain to the people. Okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon.
And everybody practice it.
Yes. They'll train the audience. The banter was fake. Their dialogue back and forth was scripted. So they were saying, so Andy, I understand you got married. And so they're reading it, and I'm watching the class.
What if I told you this was no accident? That Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly didn't just happen upon roasting Jimmy Fallon, they choreographed it like a masterclass in sarcasm and truth-telling. Fallon's world, once built on harmless giggles and sanitized skits, was unraveled in minutes. Rogan picked apart his act with the precision of a surgeon dissecting a flawed experiment, while Kelly sliced through his superficiality like a blade through butter. What did they expose that left Fallon floundering, his charm reduced to mere smirks? Oh, this takedown had layers, and none of them were pretty.
About Jimmy Fallon, because having worked at NBC, I understand people saying it's a toxic place to work. I do, trust me. However, it's rare to see somebody like Jimmy Fallon, who's supposed to be everybody's favorite late night guy, though not according to the ratings, come under this kind of scrutiny, and the controversy is getting bad. Now, I will tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst.
Picture this. The Titanic is sinking. Chaos reigns, people are screaming, and in the corner is Jimmy Fallon, laughing while playing charades with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the energy Fallon exudes in late-night television. The world is on fire, scandals are erupting, and democracy teeters on the edge. Yet Jimmy's over there in a blonde wig doing another musical sketch, grinning like a kid who just discovered glue sticks. It's not comedy, it's crisis denial in costume. Enter Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly, storming the deck. They ripped the kazoo from Fallon's hands and hurled it into the freezing waters of public opinion.
To obscurity, nobody's going to care anymore. It's like you're seeing it take place with late night television. Nobody gives a fuck about it anymore.
I know.
And it's slowly, you have a bad business model and you're not adapting.
Yeah, the creativity's gone for late night comedy, right? Like that's not really a thing anymore.
Jimmy Fallon doing a song about different variants of COVID. But this one is so strange. It's like, what did they him up with to get him to agree to do?
Let's not kid ourselves. Fallon gave up on real interviews sometime around the second iPhone release. Now, he's less of a host and more of a human cue card, reacting with high-pitched noises and jazz hands, while spoon-feeding celebrities their rehab lines. When a controversy magnet shows up, Fallon's idea of journalism is asking them if they want to play Twister with tacos or guess which wig belongs to a sea otter. Rogan saw through the act and laughed like he'd spotted a glitch in the simulation. Kelly, she didn't laugh, brought the torch and lit up the set. Fallon isn't running a talk show, he's hosting the softest landing pad in Hollywood. It's where Alisters go to be pampered, not questioned. The smile is painted on, the laughs are prepackaged, and the conversation has all the depth of a kiddie pool. It's not entertainment. It's a televised PR bubble bath.
Controversy. And the reporting out of Rolling Stone is, I'm conflicted, I'm going to be honest. Because kids today, they're so dramatic, Jesse. They left due to their mental health. They were fired. Rolling Stone reached out to 80 current and former staffers. Not a single one had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show or for Jimmy. NBC, in defending the story, did not defend Fallon. They just said, we're incredibly proud of The Tonight.
Joe Rogan zeroed in on Fallon's peculiar gift, his uncanny ability to make even world-shaking controversies feel as bland as lukewarm chamomile tea. Fallon could interview a war criminal and still transition smoothly into a segment called Who Wore It Better? Dictator Edition. The only thing he interrogates is whether Chris Hemsworth can balance a pancake on his elbow. Absolutely riveting stuff. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly's tolerance for this brand of marshmallow mediocrity hovers somewhere between none and I'd rather gargle glass. She didn't mince words. Fallon isn't hosting a talk show. He's running a PR rehab spa with mood lighting and zero accountability. If you've said something horrific, done something worse, or simply need to salvage your flopping Netflix special, Fallon's couch is your sanctuary. Just bring a smile, leave your spine at the door, and prepare for Jimmy's infamous laugh-a-mix of dolphin squeals and a malfunctioning Roomba. It erupts no matter what's said, as if silence itself might make him combust. Compare that to Rogan's show, where guests are expected to bring arguments, data, and some semblance of critical thinking. On Fallon's set, they're asked to tell a cute dog story and eat pudding from a hat. Fallon's idea of journalism, asking Billie Eilish what her favorite cereal is. That's not late night hits kindergarten show and tell with studio lighting.
Paragraph. Reporting things like having nightmares related to work, in a constant state of fear, being put on anti-anxiety medication, hair thinning, weakened nail beds, going to therapy. Some claim they had suicidal ideation as a result of the working environment. They reported, I'm like, what the hell did Jimmy Fallon do? What did he do? I read the next paragraph. It says, they reported Jimmy snapping at people. He snapped at people? What do you mean? That caused suicidal...
Megyn Kelly wasn't here for it. She dismantled Fallon's entire shtick, the beige buffet of fake fun and performative neutrality. Fallon's refusal to take a stance is treated like a virtue when it's really fear in a side part. He's not uniting people, he's placating them. Every time he flashes that trademark goofy smile, a focus group claps in approval. Let's be clear, Fallon's brand is cowardice disguised as charm. He doesn't poke power, he invites it over for board games and a round of Twister. When the media was called upon to reflect society, Fallon held up a glittery Snapchat filter instead. He's the anti-thought leader, the king of candy-coated nothing. A man so determined to keep things light that even helium feels grounded in comparison. Joe Rogan nailed it. Fallon is terrified of losing approval. That's why he never questions, never challenges, never digs deeper. He treats public discourse like a magic trick: distract, deflect, and poof. No one notices that neither the emperor nor the guest is wearing any clothes. Fallon's gift isn't comedy, it's alchemy. He makes the grotesque look adorable, the corrupt seem quirky, and the dangerous appear huggable. While the world was in a political freefall, Fallon's response was to slow jam the news like a guy trying to flirt with democracy while juggling rubber chickens. Actual journalists were chasing stories. Fallon was chasing the rock with a Nerf gun. He's what happens when comfort food becomes a personality, and now people are finally calling it what it is: empty, safe, and actively unhelpful.
Like, I want to be in the I want to be a fly on the wall in that meeting where they go, okay, Jimmy, this is what we're going to do. You're going to be singing about all the different variants. And it's like, here's a song. And you're going to be dancing and saying, it's like, okay.
Might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk's kid's name. It's XBB.1.5, not UB40 who sings red wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy. It's
What? What is happening?
Megyn Kelly wasn't here for it. She dismantled Fallon's entire shtick, the beige buffet of fake fun and performative neutrality. Fallon's refusal to take a stance is treated like a virtue when it's really fear in a side part. He's not uniting people, he's placating them. Every time he flashes that trademark goofy smile, a focus group claps in approval. Let's be clear, Fallon's brand is cowardice disguised as charm. He doesn't poke power, he invites it over for board games and a round of Twister. When the media was called upon to reflect society, Fallon held up a glittery Snapchat filter instead. He's the anti-thought leader, the king of candy-coated nothing. A man so determined to keep things light that even helium feels grounded in comparison. Joe Rogan nailed it. Fallon is terrified of losing approval. That's why he never questions, never challenges, never digs deeper. He treats public discourse like a magic trick: distract, deflect, and poof. No one notices that neither the emperor nor the guest is wearing any clothes. Fallon's gift isn't comedy, it's alchemy. He makes the grotesque look adorable, the corrupt seem quirky, and the dangerous appear huggable. While the world was in a political freefall, Fallon's response was to slow jam the news like a guy trying to flirt with democracy while juggling rubber chickens. Actual journalists were chasing stories. Fallon was chasing the rock with a Nerf gun. He's what happens when comfort food becomes a personality, and now people are finally calling it what it is: empty, safe, and actively unhelpful.
I have some examples. One employee said Fallon would write personal insults to staffers, as opposed to constructive criticisms, such as, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" He's laughing. And, "Ugh, lame. What's going on with you? You've outdone yourself." The horror, Jesse.
Megyn, see, this is what I struggle with too. And are we dealing with somebody who's an actual jerk, or are we dealing with this new?
While Joe Rogan interviews neuroscientists, war veterans, whistleblowers, and philosophers, Jimmy Fallon is busy chatting with someone who taught their cat to skateboard, or asking Dua Lipa if she likes pizza. This isn't a competition, it's an intervention. Megyn Kelly nailed it. Fallon's legacy won't be marked by what he said, but by what he refused to say. In a world hungry for clarity, courage, and candor, Fallon chose to be a living GIF, momentarily amusing, briefly entertaining, and instantly forgettable. Fallon still occupies a late-night chair once held by Legends hosts who pushed boundaries, got weird, took risks, and sometimes got political. Fallon, on the other hand, got safe. He's the rental tuxedo of television. Perfectly tailored, entirely impersonal, and forgotten as soon as you leave the room. Rogan and Kelly aren't anti-comedy, they're anti-cowardice. Fallon's brand of spineless chuckles, wrapped in corporate synergy, is exactly what they're warning against. This isn't about left or right. It's about real versus fake.
On over well in the Kelly household, so yeah, I don't ever know what to make of them, Megyn.
Same. I feel the same. I've got serious questions about whether any of this is true. I mean, in every job I've ever worked, I've had people who would jump through brick walls for me, and I can be a tough boss. I'm not an asshole, but I'll say, like, that was a shitty packet. Like, we need to do better. That was not okay. And my team loves me, and I love my team because we are all about putting out great work product. And I'm quick to compliment too. Like, what did he say? He basically said, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" That's causing people to lose their hair? People need to toughen up. Your workplace is not your nana's.
Megyn Kelly and Joe Rogan didn't dismantle Fallon out of spite. It was a demolition born of necessity, like tearing down a decaying amusement park to make way for something better. Something that doesn't dodge hard questions or treat the truth like a game of hot potato. Fallon, meanwhile, keeps churning out his sanitized stick-fake laughter, empty jokes, and celebrity ego massages. As Rogan wielded the hammer and Kelly brought the heat, Fallon countered with a banana costume and a joke about Taylor Swift's cat. This wasn't just a takedown of Fallon, it was an autopsy of late-night television itself. Fallon isn't just irrelevant, he's allergic to relevance. He avoids tension, truth, and anything that might carry an ounce of weight. Put him in a room with a political bombshell, a climate scientist, and a civil rights leader, and he'd still turn it into a lip-sync battle with SpongeBob impressions.
We'll tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst ratings. They only have 366,000 people watching that show. During the Jon Stewart years, it was over 2 million. Now it's down to 300,000. Seth Meyers, absolutely dreadful. He doesn't even have 1 million. 778,000. I mean, for network television, this is, you don't have to pay for it. It's there when you turn on your TV, you plug it in. That's a dreadful number. Greg Gutfeld on cable, which you do have to pay for, it has more than double the numbers of Seth Meyers. Jimmy Kimmel, 1.5 million averaging, also equally horrible. And then there's The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, who, back when I was there, 2017-18, he was averaging 2.3 million a night. Now he's down to 1.3 million, Jesse. And he cannot afford the "you are toxic" controversy because he's also pulling in reportedly over $15 million a year. So you got all that money for 1.5 million in audience, which is a nothing. I mean, the middle of the day on Fox News gets that, or at least used to before the Tucker controversy.
This isn't accidental. Fluff, it's intentional avoidance. Fallon's show is engineered to be entirely forgettable. Not controversial, not impactful, just bland. It's like a TV program designed by a focus group of HR reps, all voting for beige as their favorite color. While the world burns, Fallon hands out s'mores and asks guests to play egg roulette, dodging uncomfortable truths like they're radioactive. There's no bite, no satire, just a soothing hum of mediocrity, fake enthusiasm, and laughter cues. Rogan pointed out the absence not just of journalism or critical thinking, but of humanity. Fallon doesn't connect, he performs. He doesn't respond to culture. He tap dances around it, jazz hands and all. Kelly's critique wasn't just sharp, it was a cultural postmortem. She tore away the facade and exposed the emptiness beneath. Fallon's brand of neutrality isn't harmless, it's complicity. The mandate to keep it light worked until it didn't. Viewers aren't tuning out because they're angry. They're tuning out because they're bored. Being universally liked is the fastest way to be universally forgotten. Fallon tried so hard not to offend that he forgot how to matter. He had every advantage of primetime spot, a legacy, a platform, but traded it for a nightly routine of nervous laughter and skits aging faster than dialed avocado toast. That this wasn't just a roast. It was a reminder. Comedy can entertain and challenge, mock power, question systems, and punch upward. Fallon chose to be the court jester, juggling rubber chickens while Rome burned. Rogan and Kelly simply held up a mirror and shattered it.